friends, these are the colors I'm going to be using today. This is my repurposed 36 by 24 canvas. So this blue is turquoise blue. It's blue, yellow, and some white. And of course, Artist Loft Soft Body White. And this is Folk Art Copper. And this is purple from, I think that's Deco Arts. This Artist Loft Soft Body Red. Artist Loft Soft Body Blue. And way over there is my black dump paint. Let's get started, friends. Okay, here we are back at the canvas. I will do a little bit of a warning. I'm sitting outside on my porch and airplanes will fly by every once in a while, so you may hear some background noise. So just a quick hello, and this is a repurposed canvas. So what I typically do when I reuse a canvas is I spray the back again and make sure it's as tight as possible. That's why I tapped it just a few moments ago. I like using the strainer. I think the effect can be quite interesting. And so I wanted to start with the turquoise blue on the bottom. And I did about half a cup or so of the blue. And then add some white, a little bit of a buffer in between the next colors. So I started off here with some of that copper color from Folk Art. I think it's such a beautiful color. I like using metallics. I like using blue, copper, gold. I've used red, black, and yellow before as well, and orange. And here comes an airplane. So here we go with some purple. I think the color combination of copper, purple, and red is really pretty. And maybe what I'll do is I'll do a pour with those colors coming up pretty soon. So after the purple, I wanted to put the red on top of that. Again, I think these colors play very well together. And about a half a cup. And if you notice, every time I put a color in the cup and then I decide to pour another color, it pushes the previous color out onto the canvas. So that blue is pushing that red. And now I believe the darker blue, you'll see, will push out the lighter blue. There it comes. So this video is done in real time. I did not speed it up. I just wanted to show you the process. It takes 5 to 10 minutes or so to pour all the paint, swirl it, and then just check it before I leave the room. That's when I usually put it on time lapse. So again, using white as a buffer between the blues, and I'm starting and finishing with the copper. And the rest of the purple. And now the rest of the red. Okay, now we're going to finish up the cups here. I'm going to use that deep blue. That's Artist Loft blue right out of the bottle. And then the turquoise, which is Artist Loft Soft Body Blue, yellow, and white. Okay. So I grab my dump paint and I always double check the consistency because it's been sitting off to the side for quite a while. Everything looks good. Put it down, clean off my stir stick, and we'll get started. Now my biggest concern at this point, I was noticing how, again, like my last video, it was pulling to the upper right corner. My first thought was maybe my canvas wasn't level enough, but I did check and double check and triple check before we started. We'll see. We'll see what happens when I finish and if any paint goes off on that end, which will distort and ruin the composition. But I don't think that's going to happen. So here we go, pouring the black. Now, if you're new to my channel, I haven't said this in a while, but I usually pour slightly off center with my with my black for the negative space. And then I tilt it towards the lower left corner on your screen. And so I just took my time moving the paint down to that corner because I didn't want the black to go over the paint too soon. And then bringing the black down the other side and over the edge. Now there was a lot of paint on this canvas, and I wanted to make sure that all of the corners and edges were covered and that all of the pearls and cells came up to the edges as well. Sometimes it doesn't do that, and I have gaps around the edges because the cells and the pearls did not fill in. And that's typically because the black rolled over the puddle paints before the puddle paints got to the edge. I think that was a good way of explaining that. Okay guys, watch as we flip to time lapse here in just a moment. You can see the color starting to come in around the edges. There we go, I'm getting up and shazam, there we go. The color came in really quickly. Now I left the room for about an hour. That's typically how long I let it sit. Okay guys, here we are. It's the next morning and it didn't move since the last time I saw it, so that's really good. It's looking pretty cool. Just such a stark difference between this sort of purple, reddish color as well as the copper, and then the turquoise, a little bit of white. I do like this area right through here. I think it's pretty cool. I'll tell you guys, there is not a lot that needs to be done to this. I am going to go in, clean that up, but there's no reason to show you what that's going to look like. So let me just show you up close. So these pearls, you can see like with the white, that's Artist Loft Soft Body White. That tends to create these interesting and unique pearls. Sometimes they are perfectly round and sometimes they're a little bit more square. It's hard to describe. So it just sort of happens sometimes. You get this interesting pattern like a rocky road. Negative space, like I said, is great. Just a couple of touch-ups on the edge there, and that's it. I'm not going to do anything else. I can't wait to varnish it too. There's a lot of shine. There's metallic in there, but you can't really see it at the moment. So guys, hold on. I will show you the final results here in just a moment. So let me just do my little touch-ups, and I will show you, and we'll be done. Okay guys, that did not take long to complete the little negative space there. I just wanted to show you the final results. Move in a little bit. You can see I just sort of trimmed up the edge. I cleaned up some of the cells and pearls and just left it as is. And so guys, we are done. Thanks for stopping by, and I don't know, we'll get something done pretty soon. This happened pretty quickly, back-to-back videos, but this is just kind of cool looking if I do say so myself. So I am going to, take the rest of the week off, and I will see you hopefully this weekend coming up, and I'll have another video or two for you. So you guys have a great start to your week.